All right, guys, so let's begin our class today. And I will start by showing you this amazing video about how food commercials are made. Have you ever wondered how these guys make food commercials? Yeah, we are going to see that today. So this is really interesting because they have to be convincing, right? Food commercials, they are created to persuade people to buy the product. So they have to be persuasive. They have to really make their point, right? So how can they persuade people? So let's try to watch this. This is really good.
Food and product-based.
Sorry guys, I totally forgot to turn on the sound, so I will start again, okay? Now you'll have the audio. Hi Nathan, good morning dear. Good to see you. Yeah, I would like to first of all excuse myself. I'm not feeling very well today because I got the shot yesterday, the AstraZeneca, I think. Yeah, and I'm not feeling very well, but that's okay. We can do this. Okay, guys. It's just because I will sound a little slow today. Okay? But let's see. First of all, I would like to start our lesson today by showing you how they make food commercials. Okay, guys? How can they make things that are tasty, and how can they make you, the consumer, buy the products? How can they be so persuasive? So let's check it out.
Wonder how food commercials look so mouth-watering and perfect? These food shoots can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, all so you'll buy more of these.
Visual engineer Steve Geralt shoots photos and videos for food and product-based commercials in New York City and around the world.
I bring technology and kind of traditional image making processes together in what I call visual engineering.
One piece of that technology, robots, or as they call them, motion controls. Steve's long list of clients include big brands like Hershey's, Budweiser, Pepsi, and Starbucks. Of course, making food look so good comes with a price. A single-day TV shoot can cost between $50,000 to $100,000.
In these food shoots that we create, we have a lot of moving parts. Basically, you'll have, let's say, one item that's moving, something else that's splashing and running into it, something else that it's going to land on. We have to use a lot of different technologies and synchronizing software to basically allow those things all to happen at the exact moment we need them to happen.
Reload it, here we go. Still pretty low.
It also takes a symphony of people to make the products look the best they can be. Various stylists, engineers, and operators work together to create the perfect shot.
My name is Michelle Gann, and I am a food stylist. When I get recipes, I read over the recipes, I know what I'm going to be doing, so in the back of my head I start thinking about how I'd like to do it. It could change once we get on set with the different props. What the art director wants could change, but I start trying to create the recipe in my head because I'm only making it for pretty much the first time on set. I made these brownies yesterday, just so we're not waiting on me making brownies. And to make them look like I just made them, just warmed up the chocolate with a heat gun, and I'm adding a little bit of melted chocolate to the cut side.
So here we've got our motorized slider, which is moving a pump that's going to have caramel on it that'll be pumping down onto our brownies. So in the end, we'll have the shot of this beautiful ribbon of caramel kind of draping and curling on top of the brownie.
There's a lot of trial and error.
Okay, and here we go. Yeah, nailed it.
Every precise moment captured is nailed down to the millisecond. This is the benefit to using robots. Human hands are also used on commercials when timing is not a crucial factor.
We put a lot of effort into these visuals. It's really cool to see your vision kind of come to life and be spread with the world. I think you have to have a really great understanding of what is appetizing. Everybody speaks the language of food.
Okay, guys, you see? Yeah, that's a small part of how they make food commercials so they can persuade us to buy the product. All right, now going to our page. So did you like food commercials? I mean, do you usually watch food commercials? We normally do, right? Yeah. And how they make it look so real. Yeah, there's a lot of technique there. So this is the way for them to make their point, like we are talking about today in our class, right? So today is May 29th, the last class of the month, and we are doing the final part of Unit 9, page 73, Everyday English, making your point. And then after that, we'll move on to Unit 10. Okay, guys. So if you have your book,
Teacher,
yes.
how can I watch the video of the last class?
Oh, the video from last class, it's already
Yes.
posted. Yes, you just have to go to our YouTube channel. There is a link posted for you guys on your group, WhatsApp group. Let me show you that just a second. Let me try to show you that.
Okay.
Can you see this? Yes?
Yes.
Good. So then you're going here on the menu, group info. Yes? Click there. Then you're going down a little bit. You're going to see here, yes, description. So you click here, read more, okay? Then here you have the YouTube playlist, all right? So this is where you click to watch your classes. This is the link to your playlist, okay? So when you click there, look, let me show you. I just clicked so you know what we're talking about, okay?
Okay. Got it. Understand.
Yeah, there you go. Look, I clicked on the link so you can see your class playlist. So here we have the videos that have been recorded, and this one here, the last one here, is from last class. Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. So let's go back to our page on Google Classroom. Hey, Bazani. Good morning, Nathan. Good morning. Good morning, Gabriel. Good to see you. So let's take a picture, guys, right at the beginning. I'm a little slow today because I got my vaccine yesterday. It was the one called AstraZeneca, and I had a lot of reaction. So last night I felt really bad. I had fever, and now I feel like crap. Really, my body feels really bad. Okay, guys, so that's why I'm a little slow, and kind of kind of sick. Let's put it this way. But it's just the reaction to the vaccine, I think. I hope. Okay, guys. So Let's take a picture before we move on. I will take a picture only with your names first, okay? Then after I take another one. Take another one. Okie dokie. Let me just save the picture here. So if you have your books, you can go and please open your books to page 73. All right. Everyday English, the final part of Unit 9. Okay. Oh, there goes Danilo. Hi, Danilo. Hello, Danilo. Good morning. Good to see you.
Hello, teacher. Good
Hey,
morning.
good morning, Danilo. I'm still waiting for that answer. Okay. I haven't got any answer yet. But as soon as I do, okay. So let me save the picture here. I'm just saving here. Okay, guys, just give me a minute. So, like I was saying before, Danilo was not here. Um, I'm a little sick today because I took my vaccine yesterday, and I took this one, AstraZeneca, and I'm feeling very bad. I mean, last night I had a lot of fever, body ache, and I woke up feeling like crap. So that's why I'm not so good today. Okay, guys, but we can do it, right? We can do this together, no problem. So open up your books to page 73. Let's go there. Yes, this is the page. Can you see the page, guys? Yep. Okay, good. So here we have the topic, making your point. And I showed you that commercial in the beginning, how people make food commercials, because all they want is to make their point. So this is how sometimes they use technology to make people buy their products, right? Especially when it's food, it has to be something really mouth-watering. It has to be something tempting so that people who are watching the commercial can buy it, right? They feel like buying. Okay. So we will take a look at some phrases to help us make our point in English, right? So here, let's take a look at the picture. What can you see here? Can you describe the picture, please? Okay, so here we have three people talking. We have Pat, Ian, and Helen, and they're holding magazines. So they're probably talking about magazine um, advertisement, right? Or magazine ads.
Teacher,
Yes.
what you are talking? We are. I am seeing the WhatsApp.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry,
Ah,
guys. Now it's okay. I'm
I
talking.
thought it was my, I thought my computer has frozen.
Oh,
I thought
sorry,
it was
hmm.
guys.
my phone.
No, no, it's because I forgot to share the page again. I opened the book and I didn't click on new share because whenever you change from one page to another, you have to click on new share and then check if Everybody's watching that page. Actually, you are watching the other one, the WhatsApp page, right? From the class. So now you're watching the page from the book. Okay? The book was opened here in my computer, but it wasn't visible for you. Okay? So I'm sorry about that, guys. Like I said, I'm not 100% today because of the vaccine that I took. So I will make a lot of mistakes. Okay, guys. But sorry about that. Okay, now can you see the page? Yes?
Yes.
Can you see that? All right, thank you. So here in this picture, we have Pat, Ian, and Helen, and they are talking about the idea of giving lessons on body image in schools. Okay, so they're talking about teaching children at school something about body image. Okay, what do you think the lessons are about? So, what do you think they will talk about in these lessons?
Maybe health.
Mm-hmm. Okay, sure. They will talk about health. What else? Also, behavior, right? Diet, all these things. So, I'd like to show you a short video that I received this week. I will share that video with you here. Let me see if I can do it because now it's so complicated.
Hello, Mom.
Hi, Yago. Good morning. How are you, dear?
I'm good. It's sleepy, but I'm good.
Okay, good to see you, dear. Let me try to share this with you. Just a moment. I'm sharing a screen. I'm not feeling very well today, like I said, the people here, because I took my vaccine yesterday and I'm not feeling very well. Okay. So
Uh-huh.
unfortunately, I had a lot of reaction. So I had fever all night.
Vaccine.
Sorry?
You were vaccinated.
Yes, I was vaccinated yesterday. It was just the
Oh, great.
first, yeah, it was just the first dose, but I'm feeling like
Uh-huh.
crap. Yeah, I'm feeling like crap. I'm not
Which
feeling
one
well.
did you take?
AstraZeneca.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm having a lot of reaction.
Uh-huh.
I had high fever all night,
Yeah.
and body ache. And today I woke up feeling like crap, really
Yeah,
bad.
one
So
was vaccinated. She was really, really bad. She was really bad. Like
yeah,
fever and stuff.
who vaccinated? Who are you talking about? Sorry.
My mother.
Your
Uh,
mother.
yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's very bad, really. And I'm feeling really wow. I'm feeling very slow,
Oh,
very
teacher, my
yeah.
my aunt, my aunt sent uh sent a message for my mother that she is like you. She, how can I say, tomou, tomou
She
assim.
she got vaccinated, she took the shot.
Yes,
She she
she took the vaccine,
she
and
took the
tomorrow.
vaccine
Yes, she took the vaccine tomorrow.
tomorrow or yesterday.
No, yesterday.
Oh, just like
And
me, yeah.
this night she didn't sleep very well.
Yeah, it's very bad, guys, I can tell you. It's really bad. And I think my blood pressure went up because I was feeling that my blood pressure was high. And I don't know what else, maybe something else. I don't even want to think about. But I was very bad, guys. I can tell you that. I was very, very bad. I thought I had to go to hospital. And And today I woke up feeling like this. So I will make some mistakes here. Sometimes I will forget to share the screen. So you forgive me, okay? All right, people. So here, can you see this this video? This video is about body image, okay? It's very short. It's really, really short. I just want to show you that because it has to do with our lesson today. So let's take a look there. I'll play that for us. There is no audio, okay, guys? This video has no audio. So let's do this. Yes, can you see the screen of the video? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
good. So he was trying to make a video showing his uh, good looking body, and then suddenly somebody else decided to dive behind him. So he was really shooting this video, asking probably a friend to shoot a video of him coming out of the water. And then unfortunately, somebody else just crossed his video in the middle and he was like, So that was really funny. Anyway, guys, let's go back to our book. Just a second. Let me share the book page with you. So this has to do a lot with body image, right? We tend to create some ideas and sometimes it's not the way we want. So are you back at the book? I will be checking all the time now because I don't know if you were seeing the right screen. Yes? Okay. Good.
Teacher,
Yes.
can you show the under because the part of Ian because I wasn't
Oh,
here.
okay, Danilo. We haven't done that yet. Okay, I'm still going to do this. All
Oh,
right,
okay.
I'm here. I'm doing number one. Okay, so when I get there, I will make sure I will go down. Okay, and then, so I'm here, number one. Okay. All right, guys. So three teachers, Pat, Ian, and Helen, are talking about the idea of giving lessons on body image in schools. What do you think the lessons are about? We discussed already. They may talk about healthy lifestyle. They may talk about healthy diet so that they can help children understand that these magazines, they are misleading, right? So we are going to do now number two. Okay, Daniela. So let's go there. I'm going to highlight that for you. So here we are. Okay. Listen to them giving their point of view. Who is it for? And who is against this point of view and who is undecided? So let me try to zoom in. I think now it's better. So let's listen to them.
Track 38. Making your point. 1. Pat.
If you ask me, this is a terrible idea. First, good body image isn't something that you can teach. Second, schools don't have time to add another non-academic subject into their packed curriculum. Another thing is that teachers have enough to do, and it's really up to the parents to try and develop self-esteem in their children. Personally, I'm never worried too much about how I look, but that's not the point. The point I'm trying to make is that young people's education should be about qualifications for their future, not worrying about body image.
2. Ian.
To tell you the truth, I haven't really thought about it. I suppose the problem is that there are lots of images of beautiful models out there in the media. But as far as I'm concerned, people come in all shapes and sizes. I don't see what's wrong with that. Actually, it would be a pretty boring world if we all looked the same, wouldn't it? And personality is what counts, after all, and just trying to be happy. Anyway, as I was saying, I don't really feel strongly one way or the other about young people and their body image.
3. Helen.
If you want my opinion, I think this is a really good idea. Many of today's teenagers are obsessed with the idea of physical perfection. Basically, they feel like an outsider if they look different in any way. As I understand it, this is true of boys as much as girls. But the main point is that the media and celebrity culture sell them an image of beauty that they will never achieve. What really worries me is that cosmetic surgery and eating disorders are going to become the norm for the next generation. In conclusion, I think that schools should play a greater role in developing teenagers' self-esteem.
Okay, guys, that's interesting, right? Discussing how far the influence of the school can be in a teenager's life, right? Do you think, guys, honestly, do you think schools should help teenagers have a better body image? Do you think they should talk about it?
Oh, I
Or
think
just,
it's learn about the health is good. About you practice sports and a good alimentation, but not the body. I think it can exclude some peoples.
oh, I see. I understand. Yeah, it's true. But they should talk about it in a way to help people understand that, like they said in the listening, people come in different sizes, shapes, and sizes. Everybody is different. Nobody is the same. So we should start from that point. Okay, so we don't um, create any expectations or we don't get misunderstood by saying something that will lead them to think, oh, my body is horrible, I look really bad, I don't deserve to be here. That's not the idea. It's just the opposite. They want to help teenagers feel that they are loved no matter what. It doesn't really depend on how they look, okay? Because nowadays, guys, they are influenced by TV, magazines, especially internet. Okay, so that's what they're talking about.
Oh yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So let's see the answers to that, guys. Here, if you want, you can take a picture. I'm not going to linger there. So who is for? We have there Helen, against Pat, and undecided Ian. Okay, so this is the answer to exercise number 2. If you want, you can just copy. Okay. All right. Can I close this?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. So now that you have the answer, I would like to play that again so you can see some interesting vocabulary, especially because we're going to do this exercise here in number 3. Okay. So let's listen just one more time and see if you agree with the answers. Okay. So we know that Helen is for, okay? Pat is against, and Ian is undecided about it. So let's see if we can understand that, okay?
Track 38. Making your point. 1. Pat.
If you ask me, this is a terrible idea. First, good body image isn't something that you can teach. Second, schools don't have time to add another non-academic subject into their packed curriculum. Another thing is that teachers have enough to do, and it's really up to the parents to try and develop self-esteem in their children. Personally, I'm never worried too much about how I look, but that's not the point. The point I'm trying to make is that young people's education should be about qualifications for their future, not worrying about body image.
Okay, guys, was it clear that she's against, yes, the inclusion of
Yes.
this lesson? Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on.
2. Ian.
To tell you the truth, I haven't really thought about it. I suppose the problem is that there are lots of images of beautiful models out there in the media. But as far as I'm concerned, people come in all shapes and sizes. I don't see what's wrong with that. Actually, it would be a pretty boring world if we all looked the same, wouldn't it? And personality is what counts after all, and just trying to be happy. Anyway, as I was saying, I don't really feel strongly one way or the other about young people and their body image.
Okay, guys, here Ian says, I don't really feel strongly one way or the other about young people and their body image. All right, so Ian is undecided about including that in the school's curriculum or syllabus. Let's see Helen.
3. Helen.
If you want my opinion, I think this is a really good idea. Many of today's teenagers are obsessed with the idea of physical perfection. Basically, they feel like an outsider if they look different in any way. As I understand it, this is true of boys as much as girls. But the main point is that the media and celebrity culture sell them an image of beauty that they will never achieve. What really worries me is that cosmetic surgery and eating disorders are going to become the norm for the next generation. In conclusion, I think that schools should play a greater role in developing teenagers' self-esteem.
Okay, guys. All right, so Helen is super for the idea, right? She really agrees that they should say something to help teenagers feel better about their bodies, right? Now, let's move on to exercise number 3. Listen again to Pat and Ian only and complete their views. So here we have Pat and Ian. I left the answers here so you guys can copy. We don't need to do the listening one more time. But let's see the expressions because this is what matters to us, okay? So the first one here, he says, if you ask me, this is a terrible idea. So because Pat is totally against this idea, okay? So these are some expressions she used to express that she's against. Second, first, good body image isn't something that you can teach. That's according to Pat. Then, number 3, another thing is that teachers have enough to do. So Pat doesn't want to spend time in her class talking about this subject. Next one, personally, I've never worried too much about how I look. And then finally, number 5, the point I'm trying to make is that, so these are interesting expressions we use, right? When we want to say that we are against something or against an idea, and we want to make our point, right? So here we have some examples. Let's just highlight them. The first one, okay. Then first, yeah, this is not really for or against. Here, personally, it's interesting when you introduce your opinion with this word, you are going to say that you're not really for that, right? And here the second one, the third one, the point I'm trying to make is, okay, guys. Now let's take a look at Ian's sentences. To tell you the truth, I haven't really thought about it. So this is nice to introduce something that you're not either for or against. Okay, you have mixed feelings about it. So here, I suppose the problem is that there are lots of images of beautiful models. So here's some nice expressions, right, guys, to say that you are not for or against. Okay. As far as I'm concerned, that's a good one. The meaning of as far as I'm concerned is the same as to my point of view. From what I know, okay, people come in all shapes and sizes. So actually, actually, it's always something nice we use when we are going to say something that is the contrary to what we said before or to what somebody said before. Okay. Anyway, that's a good one too. As I was saying, I don't feel strongly one way or the other. So this is a very nice expression too. I don't feel strongly about it, or I don't feel strongly one way or the other. So he's kind of stepping back. He doesn't really want to state his opinion about it, either because he doesn't have an opinion or because he doesn't want to share. Okay. Sometimes, well, he doesn't have enough information about it, so he doesn't want to include that probably. So now, did you get the answers, guys? Yes, I highlighted here the expressions we use, okay? One part to say that you are against something, and the other one to say that you are neither against nor for the idea. Now listen again to Helen. Which phrases does she use to make her points? Okay, so let's just listen to her.
Track 38. Making your point. 1. Pat.
If you ask me, this is a terrible idea. First, good body image isn't something that you can teach. Second, schools don't have time to add another non-academic subject into their packed curriculum. Another thing is that teachers have enough to do, and it's really up to the parents to try and develop self-esteem in their children. Personally, I'm never worried too much about how I look, but that's not the point. The point I'm trying to make is that young people's education should be about qualifications for their future, not worrying about body image.
2. Ian.
To tell you the truth, I haven't really thought about it. I suppose the problem is that there are lots of images of beautiful models out there in the media. But as far as I'm concerned, people come in all shapes and sizes. I don't see what's wrong with that. Actually, it would be a pretty boring world if we all looked the same, wouldn't it? And personality is what counts, after all, and just trying to be happy. Anyway, as I was saying, I don't really feel strongly one way or the other about young people and their body image.
3. Helen.
If you want my opinion, I think this is a really good idea. Many of today's teenagers are obsessed with the idea of physical perfection. Basically, they feel like an outsider if they look different in any way. As I understand it, this is true of boys as much as girls. But the main point is that the media and celebrity culture sell them an image of beauty that they will never achieve. What really worries me is that cosmetic surgery and eating disorders are going to become the norm for the next generation. In conclusion, I think that schools should play a greater role in developing teenagers' self-esteem.
Okay. So do you remember any of her expressions?
And if you want my opinion, as I understand, and I think it's that what worries me.
Okay, that's very good. Thank you, Kathleen. Danilo, you were trying to say?
Only about L.
Helen, yeah.
Oh, no, because in bed, I think it wasn't bad. You, she used this, for a second.
Oh, I don't understand. Can you repeat, please?
When Pat asked about
Hmm.
this, um, she used the word first, second to introduce uh, her idea.
Yes, yes, that's true. Yeah, that's what Pat said. Yeah, it's because here in exercise 4, we were supposed to listen again, but focus on Helen, right? And try to guess to get the phrases that she said to make her points. But that's okay, no problem. So let's check out here the answers to that exercise. Okay, these are the phrases that Helen said. All right. If you want my opinion, okay, I think basically, as I understand it, this is very good too. But the main point is that, oh, what really worries me is that in conclusion, I think that, okay, all right, okay, guys, you can copy that if you wish. Okay, can I close?
Yeah,
All right. So let's see. Here are some more ways to make your point. Match the lines in A and B. What is the topic being discussed? Just a second, guys. Okay. Can you see that? Yes? So here are some more ways to make your point. Match the lines in A and B. What is the topic being discussed? So here we have the answers. You can copy them, no problem. So here we have number one. First of all, I'd like to look at the overall picture. Okay, I'd like to look at the complete picture. Number two, the main problem is that as a nation, we don't exercise enough. Number three, in addition to this, there are also problems with diet. Generally speaking, this is a pretty common problem. Okay, what I want to know is, how do you educate people to have a better diet? To be honest, I don't know the answer to this problem, so this is very nice to use. I like this one, to be honest. Okay. It's my firm opinion that fast food should be totally banned. And finally, I'd like to end with a quote. Okay, guys, so these are interesting expressions you can use not only when you're speaking but also when you're writing. Okay, when you're writing argumentative essays, you can use those expressions to state your point, to make your point. Okay, all right, can I move on? Yes, guys.
yes,
So here we have, choose a topic you feel strongly about. It could be something local to your situation or one from this list. So here they want us to do a kind of, to carry on a kind of debate, but we don't need to do that, right? If you wish, you can write about one of the topics and then you can send me your ideas. Okay, but I'm not going to spend more time on this because the most important thing for us here are the expressions to help you write better and also to give your opinion in a discussion. Okay, so let's move on to the next page right away. Oh, by the way, guys, this is the end of unit 9. Okay, we're coming to the end of this unit, so let's move on to page 74. Let me see if I'm sharing the screen. Can you see that? Yep. Okay. So, of course, guys, I would like you to do, since we finished Unit 9, the eye checker that we have online about Unit 9 so you can review all the topics. Okay, guys. So let's take a look at this new lesson. What do you understand by this expression, over my dead body?
Like not happening while I'm alive.
Oh, sorry, Kathleen, your audio is not good. It has a lot of interference there. I don't know if it's your microphone or if it's something in the background. Can you check that, please? I couldn't understand what you said. If you want, you can write.
Better?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna try to write.
Okay. All right, people. So first, we have the introductory video about the lesson, okay? So does anybody know the meaning of over my dead body? Do you know? So let's see. So over my dead body is something that when you don't want to do something and then you let the other person know, okay, I don't want to do that, only over my dead body will I do this. So it's for you to say no or to refuse or to strongly disagree with something. Okay, guys. So let's see this video here. Let's try to get the introductory video
Teacher,
first. Yes, Danilo.
it's like vai ver se na esquina.
No.
No.
No. Over my dead body is very similar to Portuguese. Okay, Danilo. It means that you strongly disagree with something or you refuse to do something, right? So, for example, suppose you tell your mother, "Look, mom, I'm moving to São Paulo next month." Your mother goes, "Oh, really? Why?" Like this, out of a sudden, and then you say, "Yeah, I want to go there because I want to study in São Paulo. There are good universities there, and I'm going to move in with some friends." Friends in São Paulo? Over my dead body. So your mother is saying no to your idea, right? You want to go to São Paulo, you want to live with friends there, but your mother says no. Okay, so that's an example. Okay, guys.
Oh, okay.
You got it? All right. So let's take a look at this, guys. This video here, I will try to share the screen. I know I have to share all the time, so because sometimes I forget. So this will talk about the Vikings. What do you know about the Vikings, guys? Have you ever heard of this people? Have you ever heard anything about the Vikings?
Yes, but I don't know much about them.
Okay, all right, no problem. Yes, we've all heard, right? Especially at school when we were studying history. So let's see some ideas here about the Vikings and we'll see if that's a fact or fiction. Okay, let's take a look. I'll make sure I'm sharing the screen. So let me just, okay.
This is the beautiful city of Copenhagen in Denmark. The city, situated on the eastern coast of the island of Zealand, is Denmark's biggest city and has been its capital since the beginning of the 15th century. Today, the city is home to over 1 million people, and it's a bustling cosmopolitan city with stunning palaces and parks, great shops and world-class restaurants. But Copenhagen was originally a small fishing village established back in the 10th century by the most famous and feared of Denmark's old inhabitants, the Vikings. The legacy of a great Viking empire that dates back more than 1,000 years can be seen across Europe to this day. But now, it's very hard to separate fact from fiction when talking about the Vikings. So many myths, sagas, and legends have grown up around the medieval civilization of raiders, traders, and intrepid explorers that it's difficult to know which of the stories are actually true. Over 1,000 years after the end of the Viking era, new technology, working in tandem with old skills, is helping us to learn more about this great civilization. And some of the most important work is happening not far from Copenhagen in the historic town of Raskilda. The town of Raskilda is around 19 miles, 30 kilometers west of Copenhagen, sitting at the head of the Raskilda fjord. In Viking times, the town was the capital of Denmark and a vital trading center. There had always been rumors that Viking ships might have been deliberately sunk in the Raskilda fjord in order to protect the capital from attack from the sea. For years, fishermen and divers had been finding parts that could have come from Viking ships in shallow water at Skuldelev, just over 12 miles, 20 kilometers from Raskilda. But it wasn't until 1962 that work began to excavate this area of the fjord, and 5 ships emerged from the mud. The ships had probably been at the bottom on the fjord since the 11th century. They were in thousands of pieces, and this left the archaeologists with an enormous, intricate jigsaw puzzle that would take them many years to solve. Every piece of timber needed to be carefully recorded and preserved so that the ships could be rebuilt in the museum that had been specially constructed at Raskilda. Today, visitors can see the result of this painstaking work in the museum hall that is now home to the ships known as Skuldelev 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. The ships range in size and purpose. Skuldelev 1 was a cargo ship built in Norway and used on trading expeditions. Skuldelev 6 was a much smaller vessel, probably used for fishing. Skuldelev 2 was perhaps the most impressive of all. A 98-foot, 30-meter ocean-going longship, which would have been manned by a crew of 65 to 70 warriors. All these skeletal reconstructions were just the first step in a process that was to reveal an enormous amount about the Vikings.
Okay, guys. So, what could you say from the first part of the videos? What did they show us? Do you remember?
They talked about a fjord. I don't know exactly what's a fjord.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah.
found some ships there. I think it's kind of, I think, for the text and the image, it's kind of a lake or something.
Yes, yes, exactly. Mm-hmm.
And they found, I think it was 6 ships uh, there, and they sunk somewhere in the past, like 11th century.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
They had a large range of utilities. Like one was a big ship, a cargo ship, and there was one that was small. and maybe for fishing.
Yeah, did you see how amazing those findings were? They could actually find ships that have been used in the 11th century. That's a long time ago.
Yes.
That was,
Like 1,000 years ago.
yeah, exactly. And they could put the ships together and create that exhibition just to show us how they were constructed and all. But that was really amazing, right? After so many years, they were able to recover the pieces and everything. So that was very interesting. So you could understand better what life was like in the past and why they were using those ships in the first place, right? So they could find the purpose for each one of them. They had Skudalev, one, two, three, until six. I guess, yeah, that's true. They rescued six different Skudalev ships. So that's amazing, right? So let's take a look at the second part here and see what else they have to say about that civilization.
The Viking Ship Museum at Raskilda is more than just a museum. It's also home to a research institution and a working boatyard where they use experimental archaeology to uncover the secrets of the Viking shipbuilders' prowess. The team of archaeologists and shipbuilders at Roskilde take all the information from the remains found at the bottom of the fjord and use it to create exact 1 to 10 scale models of the ships. These models then serve as templates for full-scale reconstructions that are built in the shipyard. Importantly, the entire process of building the replica ships is done using reproductions of tools that would have been used by the Vikings. Careful analysis of the marks on the timber and the accumulated knowledge from previous finds of Viking-age tools from places as far away as Canada help the shipbuilders to understand which tools must have been used. Finally, the completed replica ships are sailed and tested at sea in all weather conditions. And it is through this process of testing the ships in the water that some of the most valuable information is obtained.
We get a lot of answers on questions we ask when we build it. Things we cannot find out why did they do it like this, and still we do it exactly like they did it, and even though we can't find the answer, but we will find it when we go out sailing with the boat, because it's where it should be, it's where it's built for, and if it's not functioning on the sea, on the big waves, and when you get seasick and all this, then it's maybe because we have reconstructed the ship in a wrong way.
Soren Nielsen is head of the boatyard at Roskilde. He was in charge of the Stallion Construction project. The Stallion from Glendalough is the replica ship built from the skeleton of the Skudalev II longboat. Analysis of its timber revealed that the ship must have been built in Ireland, probably in the vicinity of Dublin, around the year 1042. Reconstructing the ship took over 3 years. But when it was completed, Soren was on the crew when they sailed the ship from Roskilde back to its original home, Dublin. It was an exhilarating and illuminating trip.
So sailing the ships, it makes you think about the Viking Age. It makes you think about the organization of 60 people on board a ship like this, how to organize these people, and how to sail it, how to handle the ship without breaking it. So it gives you a lot of answers on questions, but of course then it gives you a lot of new questions on a lot of things. How did they sail around north of Scotland in the Viking Age with 60 hungry people, warriors? And how did they go to Isle of Man, for example, with 60 ships, not only one ship, We have difficulty today where we have our cell phones and everything. We have a lot of difficulties to actually organize this trip. But think about the Viking Age, where they came hundreds of ships. How did they organize that? Going into the coast at exactly the same time, be ready to fight, have water enough to be ship shape, and it's some of these questions you just have to ask yourself when you're sailing there.
While the structure of the ship was authentic, the Sea Stallion added modern GPS to ensure the safety of the 65-strong, modern-day crew. The journey took more than 6 weeks, and when they finally arrived in Dublin, emotions were running high.
I would say we were crying mostly because when we went in, there was, I don't know, 10,000 people, a lot of people. And Dublin, they think this, now we're coming back with the ship. It belongs to them. And the Sea Stallion, it was just in every Dubliner's heart, I think. They were there. And when we went into the big harbor, the big ships, they started, and people were just, it was a big moment. It was. Not because, we haven't crossed the North Atlantic or something like that, but it was just, we felt very, very welcome when we went to Dublin.
In the past few years, another 9 ships have been unearthed at Raskilda, and work is ongoing to preserve and reconstruct these ships. And through this work, we will find out even more about the fascinating Viking civilization and the incredibly skillful shipbuilders that made it all possible.
Oh, that was really amazing, wasn't it, guys? That was very nice, really interesting. So when you go to Dublin one day, make sure you visit the museum there. And also, if you decide to go to Copenhagen, try to go on a trip to Roskilde and see if you can visit the museum. It's worth a visit. It's really nice. So here we have what they did actually, right? So they have been unearthing some ships that are like they had sunk a long time ago, and nowadays they're able to rebuild them and show people what those ships looked like in the past. And they were even able to create a replica of a ship and sail from Copenhagen to Dublin. So that was really amazing, wasn't it, guys? That was really cool. Okie dokie. So bringing history back, that's really amazing. That's nice, guys. Um, all right, let's take a look at the starter here before we go for our break. Let me zoom in. Okay. So look, can you see the page? Yes, guys. Is it visible? Good. All modal verbs can be used to express degrees of probability. Which of these sentences do this and which don't? So let's take a look at the sentences in silence and try to find out which ones express probability and which ones don't. Okay. It's 41 now. I'll give you 2 minutes. 1 minute is enough. Only 1 minute. Okay. Go ahead. Okay, guys. Yes, you got it. So which ones do you think are modals to express probability? Okay, Kathleen says here 1, 4, 5, and 7. Let's take a look, guys. Let's say she must be very rich. They can't be in. I think that's Jane, but I might be wrong. And the train must may be late due to bad weather. Okay, very nice. So let's check it out. Okay, guys, here you go. 1, 4, 5, and 7 express degrees of probability. Way to go, Kathleen. Congratulations. Then here we have the explanation. The first one, she must be very rich. That's a logical deduction. Okay. Now here, number 4, they can't be in. A logical deduction. Number 5, I think that's Jane, but I might be wrong. It's a possibility. Okay. So, and then the train may be late due to bad weather. A possibility. Okay, guys. The other ones, they have different meanings, different ideas. The second one here, for example, I must do my homework. It's just a personal obligation. I can't sleep, lack of ability. Okay. And the last one here, number 6, you should see a doctor. This is only a piece of advice. All right, guys. Okay. So as you can see, we use modal verbs in different situations. We can use modal verbs to give advice, to talk about obligation, but we also use modal verbs to express degrees of probability. Okay. And this is what we will be seeing today. All right, guys. Yes. Here, before we go, they want us to put all the sentences here in the past. So let's see how they look in the past. Look, there you go. Just for us to know that we can put sentences with modal verbs in the past. That's totally possible. Okay. The first one, she must have been very rich. The second, I had to do my homework. This is when I talk about obligation in the past. I can't use must in the past, so I have to use the modal verb have to in the past. I couldn't sleep. They can't have been in. There were no lights on. So here, the same idea using the same modal, but in the past. I thought that was Jade, but I might have been wrong. You should have seen a doctor. That's okay too. Okay. And the train may have been late due to bad weather. So here, as you can see, to put these modal verbs in the past, talk about the past, we need to include certain words. Okay. And these words are usually, right? So we have plus past participle. Okay. Of course, here we have the modal, okay? There you go. The modal verb plus the auxiliary have plus the past participle of the main verb. That's the structure. Okay, guys? Good. So we will talk more about this lesson after the break, okay? Let's have a break so we can drink some coffee, eat something, and then we continue, okay? It's now 11:46, so we can, now 47, 11:47, so we can come back at 12:03, so we can make it 15 minutes, right? 12 or 5, 12:05 is good too. All right,
Okay,
guys. So I'll see you back again. Let me take another picture before we go. Just a second. Okay, picture taken. Thank you, guys. See you back in 15. Okay. All right, guys. So let's see this next activity here. Missing for 500 years. Modal auxiliary verbs in the past. That's our focus, okay? So here in the beginning, they want us to look at the pictures, read the introduction, and guess the answers to the questions. So let's see here. What can you see in the picture? Yes, exactly. Okay. Yes. It's a war scene, right? Or it's a scene of a war in the past. And here it seems to be either a king or a priest. And he is kind of looking at the war. All right. Good. So the first question we need to answer is, who was the man? How did he die? Why was he found in a parking lot? How old was he when he died? So let's read the introduction, guys. In August 2012, the skeleton of a 500-year-old man was discovered beneath a parking lot in Leicester, England. This find caused great excitement among archaeologists and historians. Wow, why do you think so? Why do you think that was so interesting? A skeleton of a 500-year-old man beneath a parking lot in Leicester. Imagine, guys, this is incredible, right? How could they have found that? So here we have some guesses, some probability guesses we can make. First of all, he must have been royal, maybe a king or a prince. This is a guessing. Okay, next one. It might have been Shakespeare, the other one. Next one, he could have fallen, or he may have been very young. Okay, so we are going to listen to two people, Alice and Bill, discussing the skeleton. Were your predictions in exercise number 1 correct? How do they know it was Richard III? So let's listen, guys.
Track 3. Missing for 500 years.
How was the theater last night? What did you see?
We saw a play by Shakespeare, Richard III. It was really good. Great acting. You know, a horse, my kingdom for...
You saw Richard III? He's all over the news right now.
Why? He died over 500 years ago.
Yeah, and nobody knows where he was buried. It's a big mystery. At least it was a mystery, because now they're pretty sure they found his body.
Really?
Well, not his body exactly, his skeleton. It was beneath a parking lot in Leicester, England.
Beneath a parking lot? You're kidding me. So King Richard could have died while parking his horse?
Ha ha, not funny. No, seriously. They say the parking lot must have been built on what was once a church graveyard.
But how do they know the skeleton is Richard III's?
Well, they know he was killed in 1485 in a battle near Leicester.
Yeah, the Battle of Bosworth Field.
Yeah, that's right. And tests showed that the man must have died around that time from battle wounds, and that he was in his late 20s or 30s, and...
Yeah, I think Richard was in his early 30s when he died.
Also, the skeleton has a deformed spine, so he would have been a hunchback.
Yes, and Richard was a hunchback. Well, at least he was in Shakespeare's play.
They can tell a lot from the skeleton, and it's in really good condition, except that the feet are missing.
How come the feet are missing?
Oh, they say builders might have chopped them off in the 16th century. Anyway, the archaeologists found some people in Canada who are descendants, and they've done DNA tests that match.
I bet those people were surprised.
Yeah, I bet.
Who was Richard fighting in the battle? Was it Henry VIII?
No, it can't have been Henry VIII. I don't think he was born until the end of the 15th century. It must have been his father, Henry VII. My history's a little bit rusty.
I think you're right. It would have been Henry VII. There have been a lot of Henrys, haven't there?
Yeah, but none since Henry VIII. Who knows? There might be a Henry IX one day.
Very interesting, wasn't it, guys? Yes, there have been some Henrys in the English history. So, who do you think the guy was? Probably, yeah, probably a king. Okay. They say here that it seems to have been Richard the Third. Okay. So let's take a look here. Let's see the answers to that one. Exercise number 2 from this page. Look. So here they know Richard was killed in 1485 in a battle near Leicester. Tests showed that the man must have died around that time from battle wounds. Battle wounds are like when you get hurt in a battle, right? So you have battle wounds. The age of the skeleton matches Richard's age. He was just in his early 30s when he died, so he was pretty young, right? The skeleton has a deformed spine, and Richard was said to be a hunchback in Shakespeare's play. Do you know the meaning of hunchback?
I don't know.
Hunchback is the same as corcunda in Portuguese. Okay, Danilo?
Oh, okay.
All right. So that's what they believe happened to him, and that's why his skeleton had a deformed spine, because he was said to be a hunchback. The skeleton is in really good condition, and archaeologists found some people in Canada who were or who are descendants, and they've done DNA tests that, believe it, match. So they have found people in Canada who descend from Henry III. And that's really incredible, isn't it, guys? Wow. That's really good. So if you want, you can take a picture of that. There is even another, I think a film, but yes, of course, it's based on a book. There is a film called The Hunchback of Notre Dame, or the Notre Dame Hunchback. Have you ever heard of the story?
Oh, I know. It's very famous, but I think
Yeah.
I haven't ever see this film.
Yes, you've never read or anything. Yeah, but it's really
Yeah.
famous. That's true. It is a famous story. The Notre Dame Hunchback. So
I think I have seen the Hunchback in a film of Disney.
yeah,
I think
that's true. Yeah.
of the Mickey. I don't know.
Yes, yes. That's right. So let's see there, guys. Answer these questions using the words in italics. So here we have, when did Richard die? And here we have in the 15th century. And we should use the modal verb must. So how can I build this sentence using the word must, just to answer this question?
He must die in the 15th century.
Okay, do you remember I put the formula there? Oh, it's not there anymore. Okay, I erased. But when I'm talking about probability in the past, I need to use some special elements, okay? So let me help you out on that. When I use modals of probability to describe or to talk about the past, we use the subject, okay, plus the modal verb, all right? Plus the auxiliary verb have plus the past participle. Okay, so based on this, how can I make a comment about this information to answer this question using this information they are giving and the modal verb must? As you can see here, guys, this information is in the past, right? So how can we make it? Using this
I think
formula.
he must has died in the 15th century.
Okay, so let's organize that.
Teacher, but when I say when this happened, I had to use simple past.
Yes,
Yes?
when we are absolutely sure. Yes, he died
Oh,
in the 15th century. This is when you are sure about it. Here, we are just speculating about the past. Okay?
okay.
So here, we are kind of guessing. All right? So here, we can say, oh, he must have died in the 15th century. Always observe, guys, after the verb or the modal verb that we decide to use, we must use the auxiliary verb have in the form that you can see here. We don't change because it's the third person singular. We do not change the auxiliary verb. Never. All right?
Okay.
It's always have. Always have. I must have, you must have, he must have, she must have, it must have, we must have, you must have, and they must have. Always like that. It's like a cake recipe, okay? It never changes. So he must have died in the 15th century. Okay, so this is the answer to the first one. All right, guys, when I say this, I'm making some deductions about the past, something that I'm not really sure, but according to the evidences, I can say that I'm almost sure. So here we are using must. Oh, he must have died in the 15th century. Why do you say that? Oh, because we have this, this, and this for evidence. Okay. So when you have evidence, but you can't say for sure, then you use the modal verb must for deductions. Okay. Or speculation in the past. All right, people, let's do the second one. What was he doing when he died?
Oh, I think um,
We have
he
two answers.
could
He could,
he could he could have have been riding a horse.
yes, exactly. Remember, the sequence is always the same. Subject plus modal verb could plus auxiliary verb have plus past participle. Here we have an action, it's an activity, riding a horse. So I have to put the verb to be in the past participle, been. So he must have been riding a horse. He must have been riding a horse. Or he could have been riding a horse. So in this case here, I'm not so sure. I'm just, yeah, it's possible. He could have been riding a horse. Now, another speculation using fighting and this time the auxiliary must. How can we make this?
He must have been fighting.
Perfect. That's it. You got it, right? He must have been fighting. He must have been fighting. So we are speculating about what he was doing when he died. So if you have some evidences, then you can say must. If you are not so sure if it's just something possible, then you can say could or might, okay? Number 3, was he buried in a parking lot? Now here we have the word can't.
No, he can't.
So here, he can't have been. How can we speculate? Of course, the natural way here should be to give a short answer. No, he can't. But we are
Okay.
using modals to speculate. So let's speculate here too. So using the subject, he, the modal verb can't, the auxiliary verb have, and then the verb. So he can't have, actually, here it's the passive voice. So just to make it a little bit more complicated, they are using passive voice here. Be buried. In the past, was buried. So to put in the past participle, we have to use the verb to be in the past participle. So
And he
he,
he can't have been buried
very
in a
good.
parking lot.
He can't have been buried in a parking lot, right? He can't have been buried in a parking lot. So this is something that I strongly don't believe. Of course, right? Back then, there weren't any parking lots, right? So of course, no. So number 4, how old was he when he died? Now possible answer, 32 or 33. Let's use may.
Oh, he may have been 32 or 33.
Perfect. That's it. He may have been 32 or 33.
Or he can't have been 40.
Very good. According to the exams they did on his body, I think they used carbon 15 to kind of date the age of the skeleton. And for sure, it can't have been that age. He can't have been 40 when he died. So probably 32 or 33. Actually, it's carbon 14. I said carbon 15. No, it's carbon 14. It's the kind of chemical they use to kind of estimate the age of something they find. Okay, archaeologists use that chemical a lot, carbon 14. So let's see the next one. What did they learn from his deformed spine?
That he would had have been a hunchback.
Perfect. Okay, so this is a logical deduction, right? When you analyze the spine of a person who has died and it's totally deformed, then you can reach that conclusion, right? And say, oh, he would have been a hunchback. But of course, it's also possible to say, oh, he must have been a hunchback. Look at his spine. Okay. Number 6, why were his feet missing? Builders in the 16th century. What do you think? So this is the subject now. Builders is the subject. Okay, guys. So builders in the 16th century might have removed them. That's a possibility. Okay.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
his feet were missing. So why? We don't know. Maybe builders in the 16th century might have removed them or for some reason. Number 7, how did the Canadians feel about the discovery?
And he must
They
have
must.
been, yes, they must have been surprised and excited.
Okay, excellent. They must have felt surprised and excited. Very good, Kathleen. It's also good. Okay. They must have felt. They must have been. Number 8. Who was Richard fighting in the battle?
It can't have been Harry
Henry the
eight,
Eighth. Henry the
eight,
Eighth. Yes, we use the
Harry the
ordinal
eighth.
number. Yes, we use the ordinal number when we have Romans. Okay, so
Okay.
um, it can't have been Henry the Eighth. Okay, and
Or
now here the second one.
he he would
It
have been
could have
Harry.
been. It could have been Harry
It could have been Harry on the
the
17th.
seventh. Yes, instead of using could, here they used would. Okay, so it's okay too. It would have been Henry the Seventh. Okay, Daniel,
Okay.
no problem. So let's listen and check.
Track 4. 1.
When did Richard die?
He must have died in the 15th century.
2.
What was he doing when he died?
He could have been riding a horse. He must have been fighting.
3.
Was he buried in a parking lot?
He can't have been buried in a parking lot.
4.
How old was he when he died?
He may have been 32 or 33. He can't have been 40.
5.
What did they learn from his deformed spine?
That he would have been a hunchback.
6.
Why were his feet missing?
Builders in the 16th century might have chopped them off.
It's just a small parenthesis here. Builders might have removed them is also good. Chop them off is the same as cut them off. Okay, so that's the verb chop something off. So builders in the 16th century might have chopped them off, might have removed. Okay, so our answer is okay too.
7.
How did the Canadians feel about the discovery?
They must have been surprised and excited.
8.
Who was Richard fighting in the battle?
He can't have been fighting Henry VIII. He would have been fighting Henry VII.
All right, people. So let's check out the answers, see if you got everything. Let me clear my annotations. Yes. So here we have from number 1 to number 8. You can get it there. Okay, let me do the other ones now. Here we have number 7 and number 8 complete. All right, people, you got it? I guess here you have a better idea. You have a better image of all the answers. You can rate. Okay. Good. All right, people. So we are done here with this page. So let me just zoom out. This is the beginning of the unit. Okay. Now let's take a look at the next one. Probably we'll have to reload the page. Yes, we'll have to reload. So let's do it. Yes. Sorry about that, guys, but it's always like this. This material is always like this, unfortunately. So, okay, let's go there. Look, here we have some pictures, okay, about the archaeological finding. Look, this is where they found his skeleton. Look, okay, guys, you can have a very nice image here of the skeleton they found. No feet, okay, a big hole in his skull. Look how they found the skeleton. Incredible, wasn't it? Yeah, when they found it, the hole wasn't that big. Can you see that, people? Yep. All right, guys. This is really funny. This is a pay and display parking lot. Please pay at ticket machine. No bearing of dead monarchs. So look at the pictures of medieval objects. With your partner, discuss what you think they may have been used for. So look at the objects here, and we have some examples. Okay, guys. Look. So what do you think they may have been used for? We have expressions like, it might have been used to, this must be, okay, they must have been for, or they might have been for. I can also say they could have been for. Let's take this one, for example, here, number 3. What do you think this was used for? Try to answer using the expressions from the speech bubbles. No idea? No? Okay. So let's check out the answers right away. You can see that. Okay. Just a second. All right, people. So here we have the possible sentences. Number 1, it might have been used to carry arrows, or I bet they used it to carry something. I'd have thought that it was made of leather. And then you have all the other guesses, okay, about the objects. So it's nice if you can take a picture, okay? Okay, guys, here we have the other ones, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, so we have different ways to guess. Okay, guys, so can I close this? Yes? Okay, good. So read a fuller history of Richard III on page 159. So on this page, we can read a more complete story. What additional information do you learn about him? So does your book have this page, 159? Yes? Because if I go there now, it will take forever to reload the page. It will probably not open. and we will have to sign in again. So I don't want to go there, but you can go there if you have the book page, and then let's check out the extra information here. Look, there you go. You have all the answer there. You can take a picture. Okay. So here they say the dates of Richard's birth and rise to the throne as king, how he became king, and the scandal of the princess in the tower, more details about the Battle of Bosworth Field, the king who came to the throne after Richard, more details about Richard's burial, the archaeological excavation, tests on the skeleton, and other proof that the body was Richard, Richard's descendants in Canada, how Richard was portrayed by Shakespeare compared with the opinions of modern historians, and Richard's royal burial and final resting place. So all of this information you can find there, okay? But I don't want to go there because otherwise I'll have to sign in again because the material will not open. So guys, let's take a look at our final part, which is the grammar spot on modal verbs. Okay guys, so with certain or possible, write certain or possible next to these modal auxiliary verbs according to the degree of probability they express. So you can do this. I'll give you 2 minutes. Okay, guys, that's really easy. So we have here the first and the second with the same idea, right? When I say they must have arrived, yes, I'm absolutely certain or almost certain. Okay, guys. And the last one, they can't have arrived. So it's also certain. I believe they haven't really arrived. So it's not possible. So in both cases here, I'm certain. Certain in a positive way, certain in a negative way. Now the ones in the middle are all possible, okay?
But teacher.
Yes, Daniel.
When I have certain, uh, isn't better use the simple past?
No, only when you have the real information. Here we are talking about certain and possible when we make deductions. Okay, when we speculate. All these verbs here are used for speculation, not to give a real piece of information. For example, oh, he died in, I don't know, 1578. This is for sure, and this is the piece of information I'm giving. This is the correct information. I'm not speculating. But when I speculate, then I can use modal verbs to show that I'm certain about it, even though I'm not maybe 100% certain, but I'm almost 100% certain. And the ones in the middle, showing possibility, okay? So this is all about guessing. Okay, guys. So what concept do these modal verbs express? Choose a definition on the right. So let's see the first one here. You shouldn't have told a lie. You shouldn't have told a lie. So which one best complements this one here? Or which one best explains this first idea? Excuse me.
Oh, you shouldn't have told a lie. Is with you did this, but it was wrong.
Yes, very nice. So we can. Oh gosh. So let's link here. Okay. Then the next one. Oh, you idiot! You could have killed yourself. This one here. Okay. So here, guys, I'm using the first one to give or to make comments about something that was wrong. And I'm saying the person shouldn't have done that, okay? And here I'm talking about a possibility in the past. Yes, it could have happened, but fortunately it didn't happen. But it was possible. Okay, guys. So here we have, okay? All right. So speculating in the past is really about things in the past is really interesting. And if you want extra examples and more explanation on this, you can go to page 147. I will not do that because the material online sometimes doesn't open the pages we want. So, but you can always go there. All right, people, so we are done here. Let me go to our page on Google Classroom, okay, to see what we posted. So here, today, we talked about making your point, okay, how to express yourself and give your opinion in a nice way. We saw some expressions to make your point. And then after that, we talked about some historical mysteries. First, we saw that video about the Viking ships that were found right in the fjord. And after that, we discussed about another mystery, the skeleton they found buried in a parking lot. And we used modals of probability to talk about the past. That was the main focus. Okay, guys? So this is what we learned today. Making your point, some historical mysteries, and models of probability. To practice that, guys, I'd like you to do pages 59, 60, and 62. Okay? And like I said before, the homework posted here is due June 5th. All right? Here we have some extra files, some sites to help you understand better. The first one is about how to speak with confidence and get your point across. It's related to page 73, okay? Then the other ones are all about the topics from pages 74 and 75. This site from Life Science will talk about the 10 biggest historical mysteries ever. So this is very interesting if you like history and you like mysteries, right? And these here are some extra explanations or some files about the perfect modal verbs or modal verbs with probability. This one here will just show you the modal verbs of probability in the present. And this here will talk about modal verbs in the past. How can we talk about probability or how can we speculate in the past? Okay, so you can work on this. This weekend, I'll try to put some exercises for you to do here. 1 or 2 worksheets. Okay, guys. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you, everybody. Let me see if we can take one more picture here. All right, let's do this. Okay, people. So thank you very much for coming. Thank you, Iago. Thank you, Danilo, Stair, Nathan, Gabriel, everybody else who have been here today. Brandon, and so many others. Kathleen. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you have a nice weekend and take good care of yourselves, okay? Because this virus is terrible. And I'm sorry about today. I'm not really well. The vaccine got the best of me. So I'm sorry about my performance today. I hope you understand. Okay, guys. Have a nice weekend.
Have a nice weekend. I hope you get better.
Thank you, Iago. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, guys. Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Take care.
Bye, teacher.
Bye. Take care, guys. Thank you for coming.